pleased to be involved in, hence coming this evening to this really good really good event.
Absolutely, and so what if I'm getting it right, then you're planting a seed in their minds early on to say, oh, consider the police as an option.
And sorry, Mike, not just about for police, but public service in general.
Right.
So another thing that we've also started at Milton Keynes that I'm really proud to be involved in is we have a volunteer cadet scheme.
Right.
So exactly what you've just said there, Mike, around young people. So we pick people up from the age of 13 to 16. We invite them to come along. We give them skills around a bit of discipline, some structure, again, communication. They do a 12-month or a 2-year curriculum, and they come out with skills that are transferable into the workplace. And again, it's something that the police can do in supporting young people in employment,
right.
But also it's something that we can do around better engagement with the police and young people.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
It is great. It's really successful.
Well, listen, Paul, let me give you my card.
Thank you.
We'd love to talk with you more, to have you come on the station and just tell us about what's going on.
Oh, I'd love to.
All right, that's great.
Okay,
Thanks for
nice
taking
to
the
meet you,
time.
Mike.
Take care. So I'm here with Kay from Milton Keynes College, Kay Dwight. Kay, you're an employer as such. How do you deal with the situation where there are people, talented young people, but they haven't got the paperwork to go with it? You get a lot of that, young people, they're bright. You see them coming through the college, but they haven't got no final qualification. What do we do with people like that?
We do, and it's really interesting you say that, because we've recently set up a series of business advisory groups in the college. So we've been engaging with businesses, and they've been coming in to talk to us, and we've been saying exactly that. So what happens when our students, what is it that you're looking for to make your students, to make you take on our students? And most of them said, actually, what we really want is a really good attitude. Actually, if they haven't got the qualifications, we're not that bothered, as opposed to we want, as they said on the panel, a good can-do attitude, willingness to try, willingness to think on their feet. So we would try and encourage people to stay in education once they're employed, if possible. So maybe they could retrospectively get those qualifications.
Oh, good point.
And there is a whole wealth of training that people can do when they've already got jobs. And by doing things like work experience and the visits and the talks that have been talked about this evening, it might be that it's not the piece of paper that matters so much, whilst I'd never encourage everybody not to get their qualification.
Exactly.
It doesn't seem to be, just from talking to all the employers that we've talked to,
yes.
none of them, absolutely, even lawyers, I don't mean even lawyers, the lawyers said it's not the qualification that is important.
Yes.
You've got to be able to think on your feet, you've got to be able to make decisions, you've got to be able to be autonomous, you've got to turn up on time. That's what's important, not the grades that you've got. And this is businesses talking to us, so we've, it's a really important piece of information.
Well, thank you very much. Nice talking to you. All right, take care then. So I'm here with Tom from Nifty Lift. Tom, I've seen your company around here quite a few times. I've been to the breakfast.
I attended the breakfast.
That's right. So based on what you heard tonight, how realistic do you think tonight was in terms of you as an employer and what you're looking for from students?
Well, part of my job role is to come into the schools and come and get involved in teaching the students engineering and that sort of thing. I've actually started a new club with MK Academy. We're going to be building a Nifty Lift machine, actually.
Wow.
That's quite impressive. It's really getting engineering involved in MK Academy.
Right.
And personally, I came to MK Academy to interview one of the students here, and he ended up getting an apprenticeship recently.
So apprenticeships are a big thing with you then?
Yes, definitely. I'm actually an apprentice myself.
All right.
But I'm also the apprenticeship coordinator. So part of my job is to interview apprentices and then work out which ones will be best for our company, and then work them through the training program and get them into full-time job roles.
Okay. So how do you deal with the situation then, Tom, when you can spot someone clever, talented, they haven't got no O-levels or A-levels? What do you do with those kind of people?
Well, our entry requirements are actually really low. What we look for is an enthusiasm and a passion in engineering. A lot of engineering isn't just designing the machine, things like that. We also build them, in our own custom-made factory. We don't look for O-levels for that, we look for a passion and things you do outside of school. So if you fix your bike, you fix your car, it's all applicable skills.
Yes. So give a little plug then to Nifty Lift. What do you do? Who are you?
Nifty Lift, we are the best cherry picker manufacturer in the UK. We are in a custom-built factory in Shenleywood, Milton Keynes, and we've got a Women in Engineering's Day on the 8th of July. Right. We encourage everyone to get involved, all young students.
Great, thanks so much indeed, Tom.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Okay. So I'm here with Jenny Marsh from John Lewis. Jenny, what did you think of this evening?
I found it very professional. I really didn't know what to expect, to be perfectly honest. And it's been an extremely professional evening.
And tell me, do you get people coming to you that you know they're talented, but they haven't got qualifications, and how do you deal with those kind of people?
I haven't had people come to me as such, but we have run a lot of assessment centres, and I have noticed that there is that skills gap with young people and what to expect in assessment centres and what to expect in interviews. So, I think it's really important that, we can maybe get on board, maybe us as well as other employers, and educate, students on how to actually deal with the type of experiences they're going to have in those situations.
Absolutely, and I think taking away the fear of interview situations as well, to let them relax and be themselves, because I guess everyone is so tight that I don't want to get this wrong.
Yeah, teach some coping strategies. Not everybody can get everything right all the time, and you learn from it.
Absolutely.
I'm learning still.
There you go. We're green. As long as we're green, we can grow. So, Rebecca, you're with the Community Foundation, a big supporter. I must give you a big plug of Secklow Sounds. And what role do you play at the Community Foundation?
My role is development manager, so I work with businesses and individuals who want to support the community of Milton Keynes. And then there's another team of people who work with the charities and community groups in Milton Keynes to give the funds out that we get in from the businesses and the individuals.
Okay. And so how are you finding it then in terms of the support that you're getting from local business people?
It's fantastic. We work with really big businesses with some really big names who, big employers in Milton Keynes, as well as smaller, family companies. Nifty Lift are a fantastic company that work with us. VW are great supporters. Interdirect. So we work with lots of different types of businesses, but they've all got one focus in that they want to make Milton Keynes a better place for us all to live and work.
Oh, that's excellent. You should come and talk for us. You've got great radio voice, and you've got that message out so well.
Brilliant.
Nice talking to you. All right. So what did you get out of tonight's session?
It's very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've never been to the academy before. I didn't know what they were doing.
Okay.
But I previously worked with Debbie on the Can Do Women project.
Yes.
So it certainly opened up a lot of avenues in things I might plan in the future to do with apprentices and actually working with schools before.
So were you ever working for an employer before you went self-employed, or you just decided?
Oh yeah, I mean I've had quite a varied career.
Yes.
And PR, marketing, HR, office management before I got into accountancy.
Okay. So why did you make the switch to self-employment?
Well, I actually am employed as well, part time.
Okay.
So I don't make enough money myself.
Got to balance those books. Yes, absolutely. So when it tips the other way, then you'll make the full switch.
Exactly. Yeah. So leave the other employer when I've got my own.
Wise move. Nice talking to you. So I'm here with Nigel Adams from the University of Buckingham. So Nigel, what did you think of tonight, and what's your involvement with employers and employees, young people, and so on?
Okay, well, I think what Milton Keynes Academy is doing is a great job. They've got a good number of different employers, students, staff especially, and I think it's doing the right thing. I run something different. I'm at the University of Buckingham, which is the only independent university around. We have run for the last nearly 10 years a business enterprise degree, and it's the first in the world at undergraduate level where students start and run their own real businesses as an integral part of their degree. And it's a proper, absolutely full, valid honours degree in business enterprise. Buckingham again is different. because we operate 4 terms a year, so our students don't get long holidays, so they complete the same as they would in a state university in 3 years. In our university, they complete in 2. My students have to run a real business as well, and I mean a real business.
Wow.
Because they're pitching for up to £5,000 from Buckingham Angels, and your governor, the governor's chairman here, is also the chairman of Buckingham Angels. So if you know Phil Smith, you know that imagine him as your angel, and you can see why the students look a little bit worried when they're pitching.
I can imagine.
You can imagine that. Yeah. He was actually I won't say his barks mostly bite, but he is sometimes quite severe, which is excellent. You run your own business, I would think, and if you do, you know what it's like running your own business.
Absolutely.
Well, my students learn about it very quickly, because they have me as a horrible chairman who teaches them about the world very quickly. Well, no, you know what it's like. If the students learn about things early, they actually then come up to it and have a go. And if you push them more and more, they usually do much better. I'm sure you know that.
Well, you need to get some of your students on the radio with us.
Well, they'd love to.
What they do.
They'd love to. They were actually here. I have one you'll love is a man called Kelvin Ajala.
Right.
He's an entrepreneurial rapper. I can show you the video of him here rapping to Milton Keynes Academy students about 4 months ago.
Wow. Let's exchange some emails after this.
That'll be good.
All right.
Good to meet you anyway.
All
Good
right.
to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Sarah Lipscombe from EC Harris. We're in construction, but many aspects of that. And actually something that I think is really important is to attack the issue that we have in the construction industry particularly, and I'm sure it's probably like that in others, where the talent, the kind of cream of the crop, is very sparse because we're all scrabbling for it. There's a bit of a war on talent, if you like. And so to be able to find talent at this younger age in the schools and be able to bring them in and nurture them and hone them to the way that you actually want them to be in your business creates a number of different aspects, but one particularly is a great loyalty then, but also the opportunity for more diversification within our businesses, particularly women in the construction industry, as we spoke about earlier.
Yes. So coming here then, you come to the school outside of events like these, and you try to spot talented people coming through?
So we actually run a competition, and one of the things that we've done with the kids is to get them to talk to us about how they would do the restaurant of the future in 10 to 15 years' time, what it would look like, how they'd run it, what's it gonna cost.
Okay.
And then out of the year group that we've sort of targeted, we then pick the sort of best 4 or 5, and we then do a little Dragon's Den session. I'm actually going to be a judge next Friday to pick the winner that we would like to invest in, theoretically.
That's all right. I like that idea.
And during that kind of the questions and the presentations, you can really see some talent in there, and you can spot potential.
Yes.
And obviously, we also have the sort of apprentice scheme that we've started, and we've had a couple of very successful apprentices join the Milton Keynes office who are getting on extraordinarily well.
Great.
And I see a long sort of career and future for them in the business.
So two questions. How are you finding then the ladies, the girls? Are they getting interested in construction?
Do you know what? I think in terms of graduates, there's probably more. In terms of people like apprentices, or when we employ for things like the more junior levels in terms of programme controls, we always just get the women applying for those jobs because they feel like, I guess they think, it's administration, so I can do that.
Yes.
Whereas being a project manager or a quantity surveyor or a building surveyor, maybe it's not exciting, or they don't perceive it to be exciting roles, a bit boring, and don't realise what you can do in that role. So you can sort of train in those fields and move up the company. But actually, once you've got your foot in the door of a company like EC Harris, it's actually Arcadis is our parent company. It's 29,000 global business.
Wow.
And we have a thing called quests. So we send people on quests to the US, to Asia, to Dubai, to spend 2 weeks or a month or whatever it might be there, sharing knowledge, best practice, and then they have to bring back and kind of just write a paper on what value they've got from that quest and how they're going to implement that in the business.
There's